Welcome to episode 10 of Yeah the Girls, the official Geelong Cats AFLW podcast brought to you by Deakin University, home to the world's #1 sports science school. It's a Tuesday afternoon again. How are we feeling, girls?
Quite enjoyed the Tuesday Arvo vibe. It was great. I was so glad we did that again. I don't know if it's the room or if it's the day or if it just feels good.
Yeah. And we're back on the couches here in the forwards room. We liked the vibe last week, quite comfortable. So we're rolling with that again.
And we've got a vibe in here.
It is a vibe. I'm missing my my Uggies today.
Oh,
I'm not feeling as comfortable.
Gone the cash, straight from work, Chief. Straight from work.
And repping some, which we'll get to soon, but the merch. Get around it, get to the cat shop.
That is it. Plenty in there. Another big show, as always, lined up for you today. We're going to look back to the weekend's game against Richmond. We're going to find out which cat is that. We're ranking with Georgie Rankin, and we have a very special guest who's already in the house, Zali Friswell.
Frizz in the house.
Frizzali.
And it's all in that and more, thanks to Deacon. And they are our match day partner for Geelong's Pride Round, which we're really excited about and we're going to chat a bit more about later on. They're always working to create an environment of inclusion, and this round is a really special one. Means a lot to all of us in the group, and we'll chat more about that a little bit later on.
Absolutely.
But it's time to chat footy. Feeling this team just a positive, great vibe. Well, straight away after the game, and
oh my gosh, wasn't the energy up? Watching back, singing the song, not only like obviously in the rooms, which we'll get to later, but on the ground. And I also feel like it's the most hugging and love. Like when we were just standing there waiting, it was each person getting around every single person.
Oh. Double high fives and
Such
another
a vibe.
one.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of games this season where we've won and we actually haven't sung the second time in the rooms. But this week it was like everyone was just like,
couldn't wait.
when are we doing it?
We were even back to the jumping. You know it's a good game when the huddle starts jumping.
So good. And just like even like reflecting throughout the game, like that started from like the first bounce, that energy, didn't it? Like,
well, the vision that we saw, that we almost saw, Dan did cut it short. But yesterday, do you want to talk to that, Beck? It was so
absolutely.
Good.
So Sherry went back, kicked the first goal for us, and I think, I reckon maybe 2 people didn't come in and get on her. So
everyone else was in there.
It was great. And I think that energy started, from the get-go, and everyone was up and about, picking each other up off the ground. And it sort of reflected in the way we played, I thought, as well. Very team football, which we've been trying to get to. And I feel like round 9, 4-quarter performance, some of the best football I've been a part of. And it's just such a best feeling, isn't it?
Such a good feeling. And it was awesome to even hear, I for one am not much of a numbers person, but to hear Tay sort of give us a bit of insight in our meeting yesterday around our first quarter numbers in comparison to our fourth quarter and the consistency in high speed meters and in the work rate. I think she spoke about of, that pulls from a number of different categories, I guess you could say. But all of those that came in to show what we were putting out in the first quarter was also being put out in the fourth was just really cool to see.
It was, and I think that we've said the full team performance in that everyone was playing their roles, and we've got some people that we want to highlight and things like that, but there was everyone taking their moment. There 100%. Was a couple of Mark of the Year contenders. We had one in our forward line and one in the back line.
How good is that? I saw that just before. I'm like, yes,
so get on voting, everyone. Chloe Shear and Gunj.
Actually, got to shout out when that kick went in. So obviously it was the beautiful kick from Shan.
That was a beautiful kick.
On ground, the minute Sherry's taken that mark, she's turned around to a few, just gone, I hope I get a bit of the money this year.
Actually.
Straight away. She was just like, if that's Mark of the Year, I'm getting my share, because she delivered it to her last year.
Love that.
And she's done it again. So
I love that.
So good.
And Nay, great to have you back out there.
It was very nice to be back.
Absolutely smashed it, girl. Like, played that high forward role absolutely superbly, and something we've been lacking in the last few weeks. And you just came out there, tackle pressure,
just
goal.
keeping it in the forward 50.
Well, look, I think as a team, our pressure was on from the start of the game, and I think we had 50 inside 50s, which I don't know, that Jake could probably tell us, is that a record for us, or to be up there in terms of our inside 50s. And look, the score could have been a lot more than what it was. We had a few posters in there, and but for us, we got the shots on goal all game and continued to put Richmond under pressure, which was what we want to do. And again, the middle of the game, didn't get the scores there, but in that last quarter they came, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they came one after the other, which was great.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like reflecting on probably the last previous weeks before the weekend, probably been a bit disappointing with our performance and where we've been sort of tracking sort of the ups and downs of the season. And I know it's only a 10-round home and away season, but being able to sort of capitalise on those games is super important. And I just feel like on the weekend it really just highlighted how much work we put in as a team, and just to sort of all like come together and in that moment was really good against a really great opposition. So
And I think it started from training during the week. Like you think back to our training sessions last week. I mean, obviously we touched on, the Monday of kind of that spending that time together. It was a bit more of a recovery session, but being with each other, I think even on the Tuesday, a couple of probably some fresh drills thrown in there, but the vibe amongst each other that already started from our sessions during the week of knowing this is actually a focus for us this week. We all love being around each other. We love spending that time together and we do value one another, but it's going to actually take a bit of that conscious showing each other, picking one another up like that. It comes quite naturally, but it's taking it to that next level to show we're all on the same page. And we started that early.
And without giving obviously too much away on our messaging and Dan's behind the scenes chat, but a lot of our focus was on team and that playing together, playing our roles, and that was really evident for the 4 quarters, which we love to see. High Performance of the Week, presented by our high performance partner, Deakin University, a global leader in sport education. Again, when we reflect on the game, we were chatting pre-pod that there was
Gary. He wants a moment. He wants a moment.
He did write on our call sheet, make sure you mention Gary Rowan and the great work that he's doing. So, which he is. He actually
Still
just
yet to make
taught
his
me something
appearance.
that I did not know about the game. I'm continually learning pre this, which I'll mention. That's great.
Oh.
Anyway,
Wait, as in for now?
that we can
please
implement
share.
in the game. Oh no, we was just talking about this was new to me. It might not be new to you girls. The standing on the mark when someone does a kick in. If you're on the dot, you're on the mark. But if you're just behind it, you can move laterally.
yeah,
Did not know that.
I love that.
That's fun.
Yeah, you knew this, Jake.
Yeah, I did.
I did not. Did you know this?
But that's great.
No.
Anyway.
I figured it, but I never really thought
I've
deeply
just
about
figured it
it.
would have to be that, like anywhere else on the ground, that if you're 5 metres out, then you're out of the zone. But it's not.
Oh, no,
that much.
as soon as you take one step back, you're off.
Yeah, anyway, news to me.
Love
but continually learning is all lots of great things. But high performance of the week, we reflect on the game. We look at lots of individuals within our team all stepping up and playing their role. Some special mentions. Becky, you start. Go for it.
Wow, can't go past Shani. Halfbacker, smashed it all day. Her kicking was laser point, and I think that
Passage of play.
Passage of play. I'm trying to think of the word for that.
I know what you're talking
play.
about.
She kicks it, hits Jackie, runs on, handball receives, over to Lingy at the back, goal. It was just the best thing I've ever witnessed.
It is actually the best.
It was a training
I've replayed it
drill.
a few times, actually.
It was a training drill for Shani.
But just the way she the weight on her kick to just sit over the back to Lingy,
her kicking, she would have to have had 100% disposal efficiency on the weekend because I don't think she dropped a mark or missed a kick.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, it wasn't just that one. There was a number of different.
So many.
Second comp for rebound 50s.
There you go. Wow.
What a stat.
And she also delivered.
Oh, wait, you wouldn't have heard that, listeners. Second in the comp for rebound 50s.
Oh.
Yeah, love that.
So good.
Sorry, Jake, you should have come around and jumped on the mic.
Should have been
Shan,
in team of the week.
She is our high performer of the week.
Wait, we had other special
but we do have some special mentions.
Oh my
that we
God,
can't go
sorry,
past.
I've gone.
No, we couldn't go past her, honestly.
Kate Darby had a huge game. She's been playing that role, supporting Ez in the ruck, and she did that so well on the weekend. Intercept marks. There's one that she actually took it out of the ruck herself and got it going forward.
That's when you knew. When she took that one out of the mark, I'm like, she's on. She knows that she's feeling it today. Yeah. It was so good.
I reckon Darbs is on when she drives her legs.
Yeah.
You know,
the speed.
She just takes
She's
the ball
fast
and
too.
she's like, yep, I'm going. And I'm like, she's on.
Totally.
So good.
Totally.
So good.
And then we obviously shouted you out, Nay. I wanted to shout out Rach as well, who was, a similar one to you, Becky, from the week before that just played a role. She was given a really specific role on one of their small crafty forwards. I say it wrong. I keep saying yes, sir, but it's not. It's Yasia.
Yeah.
And she took her out of the game, honestly. She really played that so well and as we've mentioned before, can sometimes go unnoticed by, those watching at home. So really want to shout her out because that's the stuff that we really value in the four walls.
Yeah. And I think, look, our mids again, they're working there to get the ball inside and out. I think the use of the handball shape around to get the ball moving forward was great. Prez, Nina, AMAC.
And then you think we've obviously got the Zals, one of our wingers in here, but the work of Zals, Croc, Bowie
on the outside.
I think we've got some phenomenal connection pieces there between those wingers. Sometimes get told, hey, let's play traditional, let's drop off, provide support there so defence can, generate a +1 if they can, or it's like, hey, we need you inside, squeezing the contest. So they're very two different, I shouldn't say very, but different styles of play, whether you're in there amongst the junk or amongst the contest or sitting off.
You got to be concentrating all game for that role, don't you?
Absolutely. So shout out to our wingers as well.
Oh, and all the running that sometimes you might not get it, but it's so important running. If they get out or if we get out that they're on back of it. And Croc got a goal from her hard work on that outside of getting there and just being where she needed to be at the right time. So we love that.
Oh, good.
So, did we shout everyone out then?
I think we got everyone.
Did we get through the whole team?
I think we did. Well, we're going to have a little short break and then we're back with our special guest, Zali Friswell.
Cats fans, Jeremy Cameron here. Are you ready to be part of history once again? In 2023, we shattered our membership record, hitting over 80,000 members for the very first time. In 2024, we are raising the bar. Be one in hoops with us as we try to break the membership record again. Experience exclusive benefits, insider access and the thrill of being part of greatness. Secure your 2024 Cats membership today at geelongcats.com.au. Go the Catters.
Right, and we are back with our special guest, Zali Friswell. Frizz, thank you for coming on the pod. How are you feeling? First pod is this for you?
Second, actually.
Second? What have you been on before?
It's not very often that you see Frizz a bit nervous, but I can see it in you. I can see
Not
it
a
in
bit
your
nervous.
face.
Is it the pod, our pod that you've been on? Like
last season.
I actually remember because we were upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs,
Well,
I do remember that one.
experience. So you'll have no issue here. We know that.
So don't stuff up.
You're in nice and early, Frizz. Is that just because of the pod, or are you normally walking around the corridor probably an hour and a half before training?
Yeah, no, I'm normally around here, but a bit earlier for the potty today.
Doing some edits, touch usually.
Getting a massage.
Favorite thing.
Some needles.
Yeah, needles. Yeah, some
Rocking
edits
around in some new shoes usually, or some boots highlighted.
Maybe a new jumper.
New jumper.
What's your latest one? I like it's got like your recent one that I mentioned.
that I just bought.
Yeah.
Drew
that came in what, 10
day.
hours?
Yeah, Drew House, Justin Bieber's brand had like 50% off, so Bowie and I copped one. So.
And how about you tell the listeners when you copped it and when it got delivered?
I ordered it at like 12:30 a.m. on Sunday morning because it was a late game on Saturday, so not going to sleep. But
what better things to do than have an online
shop?
shop?
And then, I got a message. I was in Melbourne, and I got a message at 11 a.m. saying it's been delivered, and I was like, "What?"
That is very good.
Yeah, Bowie's hasn't come yet. So
That is so good.
Can we also share with the listeners how many pairs of shoes you have? Because we've got a hoodie thing, but we've also got a shoe thing.
Yeah, a fair few pairs of Dunks, Jordans, shoes, runners, anything like that.
Yeah, I'd probably say she has the biggest collection. Would 100%. You say?
I reckon. I don't think who would challenge you. Bowie maybe? Prez?
Prez or
Prez is pretty
Bowie
big.
would. Bowie's got a fair few pairs of shoes.
Yeah, true. Bloody love it.
It's great.
Anyway,
maybe we should get to our actual questions.
So outside of footy, you're at Deakin, you're a Deakin student. Do you want to touch on a little bit about what you're studying, how Deakin supports you with your elite athlete abilities, and then also, juggling everything that comes with that?
Yeah, so I'm studying Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science and Bachelor of Nutrition Science at Deakin. So it's a double degree. And they're pretty good at juggling everything around footy and work and everything like that. So I'm a part of the elite athlete program, so pretty lucky to be a part of that, and they help provide me a good time schedule for when I want to do my units and when I want to do them. So like next year I can do as many units as I want during footy or outside footy, and they kind of help go around footy and when I want to do what I want to do. And if I have a game this weekend and say I have uni, they can organise if I have assignment due, they can get an extension, and
We
they're
love
pretty
that.
good about
So
that.
good.
So,
Yeah, it's a great initiative, isn't it? Because you know, a lot of students have different things outside of study that occupies their time, but when you're an elite athlete and you're in here quite a bit, having that flexibility is super important. So yeah, it's super great initiative that Deacon do for that. Do you want to sort of touch on a little bit about what you're loving about the course? I know you're probably interested in all the sports stuff, and then nutrition's probably got your priority at the moment. Is that correct?
Yeah. Nutrition's probably the priority at the moment. I think I'll end up doing my dietetics degree. But I do love the exercise and sports science side. The only thing I don't like is the chemistry. It's so high chem of the nutrition side. But I do like the exercise and sports science side. So I can end up maybe doing like data analytics, or I'm not sure yet. So either one of those two I'm pretty interested in. But yeah, it's a pretty full-on course. But I'm happy that I chose it.
And how many was the second year you're in?
Second year. It's a 4-year course, but of course, it would take me longer. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I forget how much of a smart cookie you are.
Doing all
I did like a base level nutrition as part of my degree, and it is so difficult. There is so many parts to it. So I can't imagine then rolling into your, what'd you say,
Dietetics.
dietetics.
Yes.
So is that to become
Yeah.
a dietitian? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
so the degree that I'm doing right now, you can become a nutritionist, but a nutritionist can't do what a dietetics can do because they're more qualified. So you have to
would that be Alan?
Yeah. So you have to do another year and a half dietetics degree on top to be a dietitian. So a dietitian can be a nutritionist, but a nutritionist can't be a dietitian.
Okay,
so
that makes
There
sense.
you go.
Yeah.
Here's the full rundown.
You'd probably be able to use a lot of that study in your day to day, and especially like across footy.
Totally.
Like,
A lot of my units right now, like I've kind of already known during footy and stuff. So even like the body parts and everything like that with the exercise and sports science side, like it's all linked with footy, and so it's pretty good that I can kind of like relate it. to
know
both
your
ways.
carb loading and all
carb
the
loading,
great
protein.
nutrition
I
that you need to be
should've,
putting
when
into
I was
your
waiting
body.
to get into Ellen, I should have just come to you first.
Or the physios tell you this muscle's tight, and you're like, oh yeah, just that one.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
no,
where that's
no,
coming
it's
from.
actually
This one. Which one of the core courses?
Yeah. Frizz, I know that you've been doing, there's all that work, but the work that you've been doing in relation to your footy and in relation to your confidence and yourself, I'd love for you to share with the listeners, because you've obviously met up with a few teammates to also touch on it, but what it looks like when you're at your best. Give us a bit of insight on the work you've done into that.
I think confidence has always been like a big thing of mine, that it can drop down pretty easy. So a few weeks ago I started reading a book. It's called Confidence, of course. So I started reading it and doing a lot of journaling and just knowing, as you said, like what my best footy looks like. And I think it looks like when I'm like happy and energized for the day, I'm like not waking up in a bad mood. And I think starting off the day like happy and positive kind of leads that into the footy. Kind of focusing on that, but also like not being too hard on myself. So of course wing is a hard position to play, and you're not always going to get a lot of the ball because you do a lot of unrewarding stuff around the field. So I think I've like looked on like the rest of the season, and that like not getting all the disposals that I really want, like it doesn't really matter. It just matters what I do with the ball and play my role, and talking to the coaches about that like I understand my role now, and like it's a bit different to other roles in the team. So I think that's helped me to be able to build up my confidence and play to my strengths and know what I can actually do and use my speed and skills and stuff around the field.
And you also you never waste a possession, which is just giving you a bit of a shout out now. You know, obviously it can be hard if you're not finding a lot of footy, but if you do and you value it every time you get it, you've got a beautiful kick that you lace people out with, and also put people into space with the use of your hands as well. So I can definitely empathise with the fact that it having played wing in the past, how tough that can be, but you never waste possessions, Zals. It's so good.
And use that speed. I
Yeah,
should say.
100%.
Yeah,
You're hard
true.
to hard to tackle at training when you take off and use that speed, and you've been doing that in games, which is great.
So good. And Zal, was you sort of touched on like you're playing your best football when you're happy and energetic. Do you have any sort of like methods around how you get the best out of yourself in that aspect?
Like I feel like, of course, when you're happy and energetic, you're going to be a lot of like positive vibes around the club and getting around a lot of people. And I feel like when you're down and that, you're yourself. So yeah, playing your best footy in that, I don't know, you're just having so much energy and you put it towards the field, and you're going to want to train, and not saying I didn't want to train, but just
100%.
wanting to just go out there, be the best, but also enjoy the last bit of this season, as our season like goes so quick, and like we're already on round 10, like just enjoying that, like we're nearly done now. So take it in with the rest of the season, and yeah, the girls around.
Completely.
So, yeah.
Is there things that you sort of put into place to, you know, be the most happy and energetic person you can be? Like, is that just around more sleep, prioritising things like that, or catching up with friends outside of football?
Hanging out with Angela.
Honestly, and your dog, you've got a dog at home, like all these things, you know, you don't have to be on at football all the time to build those things up. Is there things outside of footy that do that for you? Or?
Yeah, I like to balance my friendships outside footy. So, as G knows, I love going back to Melbourne.
She's a bit of a city gal. Loves Melbourne.
So, yeah, I love going back and seeing my mates, and they come down here heaps to watch me play footy. So, I think balancing that. But also, yeah, as you said, got a dog. So, love to take her for walks and little Peaches. So
we share a birthday, me and Peaches.
Yes. But yeah,
so
I try and take her out and just get out of the house with the family. But yeah, I've got into a lot of like meditating.
Yeah.
Just to start the day and just a positive vibe. But also like I love just getting out of the house and outside uni and stuff, because that's pretty hectic. I just like to shoot the basketball down the court. And
do you?
Yeah, I used to play basketball. I don't know if you know that. Yeah,
that's
rep
fun. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to play rep basketball, and then I gave it up for footy. So
So cool.
yeah, so yeah, I like doing that, and just something different that kind of gets me out of the headspace of like constantly being around the footy and yeah, just the elite athlete lifestyle. So
and you're a good host too.
Yes.
Not a bad host.
Or should we say Ange is a good host?
Ange's got to do pretty well with hosting.
This is Zali's mum, by the way. She hosted pretty much a team dinner the other week. It was probably about a quarter of us that came over for a roast and platter. And
I think it was a lot of ones. I'm pretty sure in my first year. In your first year when you were with us, you're like, well, all the ones who don't have mums around, you can come over for dinner.
Yeah, we had a fair few girls over for dinner, but got to do another one because of course of other girls that weren't able to join. But
we can't have them listening. No.
Yeah, but yeah, no, mum and dad are okay with cook. So.
And they're big supporters, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like everyone, I think everyone in our team knows your parents because of the way that they're around the group.
Yeah, I thought mum was on a different level on the weekend.
she asked me for my signature on her
hand. I had the same thing. I was signing someone's
that hand.
Can you sign my hand, please? And I was like, I know that voice.
They're pretty good and they're supportive and they just love being around the group and just like being around positive people, and I feel like the club has invited them pretty well. So yeah.
Well, we absolutely love it, and we love their presence around the club, and we hope to see them again this weekend. I'm sure they'll be here loud and proud, which is great. And it's thanks to our matchday partner of Deakin. It's Pride Round, which is really exciting. As I mentioned before, this is across the league that it's Pride Round, and it's a really special round, and it means a lot to all of us, what it means for individuals within our community. And we know that we've got our Pride supporter group that will be there, as they are every round, but an opportunity for them and for those that want to come along and sit with them or to get into the crowd. We hope just have a really big crowd this weekend. Last game of the home 108 season.
And we got new jumpers, which I've just spotted because Spud was just wandering towards the door. We've got new Pride. Yeah. They're a new design this year, aren't they?
Yeah, subtle change.
Yeah.
New, which is so cool.
So exciting. It's home game, 5:05 Saturday night. So we hope to see lots of people there. We are excited about the game. Frizz, how are you feeling going into the last game against the Hawks?
Of the regular season. Before
the home
regular season. Sorry, obviously.
It feels good to have it's a short season, but good to verse the Hawks for the first time. So and good to have our last, hopefully not last home game of the season. So it'd be good and exciting to play.
I'm very excited to play against the Hawthorn.
Yeah, same.
I think it'd be great. They've been building on some good footy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. I see some of their content and I'm like, ugh. I'm sorry, but it makes me want to beat them even more. Do you agree? I don't know if we can put this in there, but I'm so hungry for a win against this team.
I think we're all very hungry for a win against the Hawks, so it's going to be a big game. And we
Sorry,
hope
that really caught me off guard.
Sorry. It's just more motivating.
It is.
No, they're really excited for the weekend's game. And we really want to get as many supporters as there possible. It's going to be a great round with the Pride round across
There's
the league.
actually, fun fact, sorry to cut you off, but fun fact, Jazz Fleming is, I'm going to get this wrong, she's like a second or third cousin of mine. She's part of the Rankin
I swear you've like got cousins with
Rankin
everyone, eh?
thing. She's like the next after me. She was the next generation of, I don't really know how it works, so I'm kind of keen to, get
Win
the one up.
against her. Yeah.
So good. Well, we hope to see everyone at the game.
In all your Pride colours.
In all your Pride colours.
Like
come
Becky's
along.
wearing today.
Yes.
Yeah, there is, all available. Purchase at the Cat Shop. I'm sure it's open normal hours this week leading into the game. But yeah, before we finish up with you, Frizz, thank you so much. You've been amazing.
Forgot about this
It is
segment.
time for Which Cat Is That? And before I get into it, actually, little lead in. I always organise this the day before and I think about my guest and who it's going to be. And I was sitting with Frizz yesterday and I'm like, have you got a few minutes? I was just wondering, would you be my my answer for the Which Cat Is That tomorrow? And she's like, I would. But at this point, I didn't know she was our special guest. And I was like, that won't work. I'm like,
so
I can't do that. We
funny.
pondered for a minute. We were like,
so funny.
do we do it and throw the other two? But then I'm like, no, the guests need to be able to play. So we went against that.
That's a little bit, because last week I was thrown.
Well, you were thrown, but you still had an opportunity to answer. But this we were like, it's a bit, it won't work. So anyway, that was a bit of background into yesterday. Frizz knows how the game works. Bit of our who am I, which cat is that? The 8 clues are there. The scores at the moment, Frizz, you're winning 4 points. G's on the 2.5, Becky's on the 1. I'm feeling for you. I reckon you got this today, Beck.
No, we're combining, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
So 3.5 v4.
Yeah, it's all good. That's all good. So let's get stuck into it. Before we do, Frizz, have you thought about a buzzer? What noise you'd like to make to buzz
meow.
you? Meow. I like it. Becky?
I'm just going to have to go buzz because I always seem to do it.
And
you do
G?
love to buzz a lot. I'm going to go snap.
Snap. Okay. Let's kick off. This cat played Auskick as a kid. This cat went to an all-girls school. This cat's main sport growing up was not footy. This cat has never played VFLW.
Damn it, I really thought I was going to go early there. I'm so glad I didn't.
This cat has broken 3 different body parts.
Buzz. I'm going to go for a random one here. Mel Bragg.
Not Mel Bragg. This cat is a Geelong supporter. Before they came to the club. Yeah. Or started playing, I should say. This cat is a long way from home.
Do you guys know?
I thought I had it and now I'm gone again. But you're about to give us the last clue.
I'm
May
gonna
as
give
well
the last clue.
sit tight for the last one.
And you can help me who says then their buzzer first. This cat's nickname is a type of vegetable.
Snap! Spud.
Spud!
That's why I was going.
The long way from
I thought that on the last
Yeah.
one. But are you, because I started going home Ballarat, or are you thinking home Gold Coast?
Home Gold Coast. Well, that's where her lives with her partner in New South Wales, Gold Coast.
Sorry, I'm pulling
Yeah,
this away
please
from
do.
you.
Which one is confusing you?
No, well,
So
the
she played
Geelong Cat
basketball.
supporter is the one that got where I went, I reckon this is
Yes.
Spud.
Yeah.
No wonder she's been sniffing around
Yeah,
outside the door. She's probably
she-
waiting for this seggy
She's
to
like,
pop
"When
up.
is it me?" Yeah, but she
That
did
one
go
I
to school
thought
in
so,
Ballarat.
but then
yeah,
long way from
currently-
home, I
that
started
one got
going,
me,
that's
yeah.
what changed my mind, because I'm like, Ballarat's,
Ballarat,
compared to
yeah.
some people, that's not too far.
No, so we're obviously
current
she goes
home.
back home on the weekends
Yes!
when she can.
It's on the
to go
comeback
home.
train.
So you are
So we got to make finals so that I can
Yes.
get
ahead of the
ahead.
guests. Gee, well done.
Oh,
No,
we are.
we're
We're
connected. We're connected. Becky's holding on to that. Well done, G. Excellent work. Spud will be very happy that it got to the end, I'm sure. She was like, let's make this tricky. Anyway, thank you, Frizz, for coming on. It's great to hear more about your experiences at Deakin and the great support that they do for you there, and also to see what you've been doing behind the scenes to play the footy that you are, and look forward to seeing you run around using that speed again on the weekend.
No, thanks for having me.
With a new course, Deakin Business School is preparing graduates to capitalise on the golden opportunities in sport management. It's time to take charge of your career with the Executive Masters of Sports Management. A one-of-a-kind qualification is designed as a more advanced version of Deakin's popular Master of Business Sport Management, which is the #1 ranked program of its kind in Australia. Delivered online via Deakin's Cloud Campus, the EMSB provides students with a focus on specific business knowledge, including areas of strategy, sport governance, leadership and fan engagement. Capitalise on the golden decade with a degree that will give you the skills you need. Head to deakin.edu.au.
And we're back, and it's time for the special segment of Rankin with Georgie Rankin.
Here we go. This week, as everyone would have seen on the socials, we had some visitors, which our lovely Irish families have made their way over. So I've popped in a top 3 moments from the weekend with our Irish family. So starting off at number 3 was coming off the ground, and they had kind of like a little marquee thing set up, like a little tunnelway, and you walked in, and you turn the corner, they are lining, and this is a space of like maybe, 2 meters? It's so small. Sorry, I'm just saying Spud, and I know why you're hanging around, Spud.
Didn't get it, Spud.
G got it innate.
I got it on the 8th.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was.
Good job.
It was. So you can go away now. So yes, you come off, and I reckon there was probably only a handful of us who had met them prior to that point in time. But you're coming through, and the ruckus that was made, and the hugs, pulling every person left, right, and centre, going in for a hug. They are just the most joyful crew ever, and they were so passionate. And I don't know, in the morning actually, we'd caught up at Bowen Heads at the little market there, and I think
was this Saturday morning?
Saturday morning, and they was kind of explaining to each other some of the rules and that was going on. It was really sweet. I don't know how many of them knew exactly what was happening, but goodness me, they can celebrate. So that moment of coming off where everyone was just getting around them, they were getting around us, and you hadn't really met, probably hadn't even exchanged names yet. It was just
working out
the
whose
best.
parents they were. I was looking at the badges, being like, "Oh, yeah, so you're Rachel's mum." And then
yes,
I remember walking through, and I was just like, "So here's the Irish."
I would have loved. We should have done like how there's like the webcam, coming through. You would have. Oh, it would have been good. Anyway, so that was number 3, and then number 2 was. Like at the end, after we'd sung the song, I had next to me was Lingy's dad, Marty, and so Lingy was there, obviously, Aisling Maloney, and then Das was on the outside of her, and he's gone, Maloney, and he's just picked her up and jumped down with her, but then puts Das down. I don't know, we're all kind of mingling, turns around and Spud's there, and she goes, "G'day, my name's Spud," and he's like, "Oh, another little one," and he picks her. I kid you not, picks her up. Spud's obviously loving it, starts doing these ones, jumping up and down. The whole crew's turned to look at this stage, and it was just, honestly, it's the best thing I've ever seen. It went from
Oh, I love this. This is so funny.
It was so beautiful. It was the best. And then obviously coming in at number 1, you couldn't go past. There was the vision, actually singing the song, getting everyone in together.
So Irish flag on the floor.
Irish flag on the floor. They had no idea what the words were, but they did their best.
Jumping around.
Oh, it was honestly, it was such a good vibe. So those were my top 3 moments from our beautiful Irish
I reckon that will
sisters.
have to be like one of the top moments of the whole season.
Agreed.
Whole Rankin with Rankin.
Totally. Maybe I should rank them all at the end. But it was just so good. And they're hanging around for like a while.
Yeah.
A couple of them are heading off to Sydney to do a little trip there. They're making the most of it.
So nice. And it's so nice to see the girls. I've talked to Aisling in the lead up and how excited, and Rach, how excited they've been with their families coming. And especially once Anna Rose's family arrived, I think the other 2 were like, it's getting close. And it's just so lovely to see people.
I just
with
love
their
that they're
families.
huggers. As soon as they turned up, they went in for the hug. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Easy. So easy.
It's beautiful.
So good.
Good work, G.
Well done, G. Captured that very well. Well, big game this weekend against the Hawks. As we said, Pride round, thanks to Deakin, the match day partner there. And again, sponsors of our pod as well. So thank you for listening today, and we hope to see you at the game. If not,
5:05. See you there. Oh, set the scene, Becky.
ooh,
Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. Saturday night, 5:05, GMHBA Stadium. Where else would you rather be?
yes, be
Watching
there.
Deans right now.
Yeah. She loved it.
Get down. We all always hear you guys, especially at GMHBA, and we always love your support. So thanks for listening to another episode of Yeah, the Girls.
See you guys.